We got basil, curly kale, and lacinato or dinosaur kale, and then a variety of lettuces, all homegrown. This is our third or fourth harvest, not of the basil. It's my first harvest of the basil, but the kales and the lettuces. First harvest. I'm gonna take you out and give you a tour of the garden. So right here we have our kale bed. A lot of these overwintered, meaning that I planted seeds or starters in the fall hoping for a fall harvest, and they didn't do so well, but they ended up coming up this spring. This bare patch right here, I had put some seeds to fill that in, and they didn't come up, but I think we've done well. And like I said, all that's in there on the table came from this, and I still have this much left. So we have more than enough kale for our family, but we eat a lot of kale, a whole lot of kale, because we eat a lot of salads. And here's the lettuce. Like I said, I took off a whole lot of this, especially this second row right here. I started on this side this time. Last time I harvested, I started on this end, but this was older this time because, of course, I didn't touch it last time, so I want to start from this side. And we still have a lot of that left. We got some kale seedlings. Some of them have started to bolt or did bolt when it got really hot last week. And all I did when that happened was pull out the flowers. They still taste pretty good. I did taste the leaves and they're not bitter. This is spinach. This spinach I cut all the way back, and I did the cut and come again method so that when I cut it, it would come again. And you can see how it's coming back. It was just stems, but it's really bitter, so we're not going to be eating it. And I don't know how to fix that. I'll have to look into that. This was a watermelon plant that did not survive. I started it from seed, so I'll be putting something different in there. Rest in peace. We put calendula in this pot. I just sprinkled some seeds over the top, and all of these came up. I don't know the spacing or anything, but we'll see what happens. My gardening is very experimental, as you'll come to know. This is ashwagandha. I got this from the farmer's market. We use this in a lot of our products, our herbal compounds. So I wanted to have this, even though we don't have room for it in ground right now. I wanted to have it just to have, and whatever we get, we get. But fresh herbs from your own garden are always preferential, at least for me it is. And here we have potatoes. My son wanted to grow potatoes because he's a mean boy when he makes his potato salad. We have comfrey, and luckily I had the mind to get this not too long ago because my son sprained his toe, and we're gonna do a poultice tonight, and hopefully he gets some pain relief. Another potato bag that isn't as far along as the other, but it's there. This is catnip. I'll be harvesting some of these leaves and doing catnip tea or whatever. Okay, this is okra. It's coming along. Started these from seeds from my mother-in-law. She had seeds, so we started those from seeds. This is the cantaloupe. I started from seed. Basil started from seed. I just harvested that. You saw that on the table. I put some more seeds in here because this was really centered in the middle of the pot, and I wanted some on the outside. But now that it's gotten so big, I don't know that the seedlings are getting enough light to do anything, or maybe they will eventually. We'll see. And it's very dense, so maybe they're not getting enough nutrients. I don't know. Like I said, experimental. St. John's wort. I will be tincturing that. This is thyme. I'm hoping that this spreads out after it seeds so that I can have more. These are tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, um, beefsteak tomatoes, and another kind. And in the understory, I planted carrots because my goal is to not have any wasted soil. Collards, broccoli, another lone lacinato. It was doing so well right there from last year that I didn't want to move it, so here it is. Some more basil, spearmint. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I got it from the Elephant Gardens as a starter, and I can't remember what I ordered. Lemon balm. I will be tincturing and teaing that. Chocolate peppermint from last year came back. I made the mistake of pulling up some of the vines that I thought were dead and I needed to get rid of, and there's a big gap in the middle because I did that. So I should have just left the vine there and it would have come back, but I didn't know. You live and you learn. Over here we have pepper plants. I have a banana pepper plant there. The rest are bell pepper plants. And then in there I also put beans, and I started these, well, I sprouted them and then I put the sprouted beans in there, and I had to sprinkle lots of diatomaceous earth around this bed because it has an infestation of roly-polies or pill bugs, whatever you might call them, and they were eating up the leaves of my plants. As you can see right here, they're still here, but you know, and they were eating up the bean leaves. They say you'll end up losing 30%, so plant extra when you are direct sowing, which I figured that out afterwards. Anyways, I have this grapefruit in here to maybe be more tempting to the roly-polies than my actual plants are, so it's like a lure to get them not to eat my plants but eat the decaying food, which is typically what they will eat. Here I have a stevia plant, or stavia, however you want to say it. This is echinacea. I have onions here, the little things that look like grass, that's onions. And then I have lavender, and then this is oregano that came back from last year, and it's like 3, 4, 5, 6 times more than what I originally planted. And had I known it would get this crazy, which I appreciate, I probably would have put it in a different spot, but it's fine. I've already harvested some of it and dried it, so I've done 2 harvests. The first time I did like this section, and then just yesterday I got this. So lots. We have cucumbers in containers this year. I had them in my bed last year and they were a lot, so I moved them out here. And then over here we have a wormwood plant that I got from the farmer's market. It's really good for digestion. It's a bitter, so good for digestion. And then this is a valerian plant. So again, you know, we don't usually use the root of this plant, and obviously we don't have enough of them for it to be super beneficial, but I wanted to have it so that when it flowers and drops its seeds, we can have more, and then eventually hopefully we'll have space to have a bigger patch. So yeah, this is our garden starting out. Not everything is ready to harvest, but we have a nice amount of food growing. It's been so relaxing and therapeutic to have this project to focus on this spring. such a learning experience.